Hello there. Today I am deciding what to do about the top of this workbench. I tried to look up my old video when I put this top on. This plywood is 3/4 inch. I put it on, I don't know what year, because I can't find anything on the YouTube search. It came out of the pop-up tent camper that I used to have over here. And it's not pressure treated. Now I have a lot of problems with this. It's rubbery because it's soft, it's rotted. Basically it's rotted from here over to about here. It's pretty solid in the middle. And I looked up underneath, that's a storage area they have under there. And the wood looks good underneath. So for cost reasons, I was going to cut out a piece probably from here to here, which would probably be about 8 inches, and then patch it with some pressure treated plywood. Another option was I was going to take, it would take 9 2x6s pressure treated and make a top to go over, just over the top of this. There is a 2x6 that runs here. Why it's on an angle I don't know, but that's where it's nailed in, here and over there. There's 2x6s on the flat. These are all pressure treated. Here, then of course you got one on the flat here, and then you got another one here on the flat. And you can look up underneath here, and you can see the 2x6 there, and you can see it better here, and there's a 2x4 here. Now, this has a history of going back to 2 sawhorses. And you can see them right here, what's left of them. There was a 2x4 in here I took out years ago. So this used to be a table that I had set up for cookouts. Then I decided to convert this into a workbench, and my former neighbor Lou, who's been gone for many years, gave me some pressure treated boards and I just boxed it in. And I used to paint it redwood, similar to what the deck is going to be painted when I do get around to it. And this wood held up very good on the top. I didn't want to invest in a pressure treated plywood, but considering that this is not pressure treated, it came off the camper. But I can't remember when I put it down because I can't find a video on it. Mainly because I don't know what the name of the video was. So I have bad luck trying to find out, so I can't estimate when I put it in, but I'm going to say 20 years ago, maybe 15, and it's all guessing. Here's some more of that latex garbage that does nothing. So what I am going to have to do, I priced the 4x8 sheet in their pressure treated plywood, and they were roughly around $50. They're 48 and change, so you might as well say $50, and it's going to be well over that with the tax. But I don't know what a 3/4 inch is going to be. I think it's 53 to 55, something like that. That's a lot of money. For us it is. After spending the money for those knobs up there, 12 times 4, whatever that is. No, I'm sorry. $48? I don't know. Plus tax, so $50 there. So, because I don't have a pickup truck anymore, I cannot get, this is 65 inches from here to here. Alright? This bench is from here to here is, as I recall, 52 1 or 52 inches. I measured it yesterday. Then there's about an 8-inch overhang, and the reason these overhangs are this way is to enable me to clamp onto something when I'm working on a board, cutting it, to clamp onto this. So it's not too bad, but it is rotting out. But overall, it's not too bad, but it's bad in a lot of places. So I was going to just patch it up with a 1x8 or 1x6 here, but that's going to be pine. To get pressure treated, that's going to be pine. It's not going to be anywhere near as strong as this. Now, I could cut this and get this out of here. That's not a problem. But I don't want, because we get rain so often around here, that right now there's no water getting in here. It's very damp in there, very damp in there. Musty, and everything gets moldy and everything else in there, but it doesn't, no water gets in there. And it's a storage area. I'll show you. That white stuff in there is flea powder. I just had it when we used to have a cat. I just sprinkled it around in there. And this is old 2x6s to keep stuff off the ground, because when we get a lot of rain, this area floods a little bit with a couple of inches of water. So in here, I have my other propane tank, which I have to get rid of, along with the one that's in the grill, because these are supposedly not allowed anymore. They can't be refilled. And the dump, I think, charges $10 or $20 a piece for them. And I'm not going to do that. So I have stuff like my pump sprayer and my garden hose and stuff like that in here. And so if you look in here, I'll show you underneath here. There's a 2x6 on the flat, and then there's a 2x4 on the edge in the middle. That's why I drew that line. And I don't know how well you could see that, if even at all. But I can't carry a 4x8 sheet in the big van. That's where I miss my pickup truck. It was so handy to have. So this, taking a measurement from here to here, is 65 inches. So I was going to have Home Depot cut down a 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch pressure treated plywood to 65 inches. But that's going to stick out 2 feet or maybe even 2.5 feet out of the back doors of the big van. I'm not going to drive down like that with the doors open. I'm just not going to do that. On the pickup truck, I had a 6-foot bed, and it's no big deal. Just lay the plywood down and put a little red flag on it. But I don't want to do that with the big van. So I'm going to have to buy a 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch plywood and have Home Depot cut it down the middle. That means I'm going to have a seam in the middle. It won't be continuous like this. You have to do things like this. Now, to be honest with you, when I built this screen house, which is gone, but all is left is the platform. This platform here was built in 1988. My son was 1 year old when I built this. And I have videos on it. And this is 1/2 inch pressure treated. I was able to pick up a 1/2 inch piece, because you could see me carrying it over, with no problem whatsoever. Today, I don't think I could pick up a 1/2 inch pressure treated plywood, which is heavier than Douglas fir or whatever else that's not pressure treated. let alone a 3/4 inch. I probably couldn't even lift it off the ground. So, this platform, I can't use the wood from it, because this is when they made pressure treated. That lasts forever. I put this in 1988, and it's still good the day I put it in. But the problem is, there's a pressure treated 2x4 here. There's one on the flat here. They're all on the flat, and one here. Okay? So, it would be a huge, huge job to get rid of this. So, I was thinking of using some of this, but no, it's too big of a job. I can't do that. I could not remove this. So here is a 4-foot level. I bought this at a yard sale many, many years ago. No problem with a 4-foot piece of plywood laying flat. I can just remove these chairs. That's not a problem. The problem is getting it up to the seats here. It's 4 feet. So we want to come out 65 inches, because that's the length of the bench with the overhang that I showed you. I need that overhang so I can clamp, as I said, boards down to the bench, because on the sides of the bench, the plywood comes even with the sides, so you can't put a clamp there. So I took measurements yesterday, and the plywood would come way out like this. And yes, I could probably close the doors on it. The plywood would probably stick out almost as far as the doors, and tape, put a bungee cord from here to here. But I don't feel safe driving like that. I never did. Even when I had my pickup truck. I didn't mind an overhang of maybe a foot or so, but I didn't like anything longer. But anyways, the other option I was thinking of doing, but it's not going to work, is standing the plywood on edge. Well, you can see right here that I don't even have 4 foot with this sitting here. So let alone putting the plywood on the seats and sliding it down and standing on edge, that's just not going to work with the 4 foot and the 8 foot going this way. So for weight, and for me to easily carry it, the option would be, I need 65 inches in length, so I need one cut for that, and one cut down the middle at the 2 foot mark. So there'll be two 65-inch pieces by 24-inch pieces, and those could fit right between the seats. And they wouldn't be too hard for me to lift, and that might be the way to go. So this is in the planning stage now of what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be putting this video up here. Whether I get the wood today or not, I don't know. Today is a nice day. It's not supposed to rain, if I can believe the weather guesses. But it's going to be cloudy, which is fine. Temperature's fine. I'm not sweating and suffocating. Yesterday was pretty hot. I got out here and did some measurements. I says, no way am I working in this. It was in the 70s, and it felt like I was in a steam bath almost. I can't take hot weather. I never could. And I'm getting worse as I get older. So anyways, even if I could get this piece in, well, I can, but I'm not going to do it. And not have to cut it down the center. As I said, I don't want to drive with this thing open like this. As old as this van is, I don't want to mess up this. You know, it's in damn good shape except for the exterior body. And leaking with the doors and everything. No matter what I do, I can't, I've done everything with this. rubber here throughout the years, putting in extra rubber and everything, and I still get, what's dry now, I get wet carpet all the time here. You can even see where it gets wet here. Alright, so that's where we're at right now. So the distance between the end of this 2x6 and the beginning of this 2x6 is approximately right here. That's the center right here. So we don't have that much space. So if I rip all this out, I could probably get away, for cost reasons, maybe 1/2 inch instead of 3/4. But this is 3/4. It may not look it, but as you look in different areas, it is. You need some, rigidness here, because that's why I made the overhang. I could have just as easily cut it right here, but then when I want to clamp a board down or something, I got nothing to clamp on. As it is now, it's difficult. If I need to clamp in the middle, I'm not able to do it because this is flush to the end. Now, in order for me to get rid of this, I have to cut it up in small pieces. This part here might be good. You know me, I try to save everything when it comes to wood, but that may not be enough to bother with, so I got to cut it up. This is going to the scrap. When I contact the guy, and hopefully he's still able to do that, he did charge $25 to get rid of this last time, and this is all the little small stuff in our old recycle bin that we no longer use. So when I have him come and get this, I'll probably, he gives me a price to get rid of this. I was going to use this for a cooler. I don't have a compressor in it anymore. I took it out. I was going to use this compressor for an air compressor, and I was told that's just not going to work. My old grill, which I don't use anymore, it could benefit somebody. In scrap metal, maybe. And this, I bought at the yard sale many years ago. I'm going to say 20. I don't know. It's a fiberglass cooler with a homemade wood top that I did not make. And I keep stuff in it because I got to store stuff somewhere. And it was covered with a tarpaulin. We're getting bugs out here now, buzzing around me. It's that time of the year again. I didn't paint this. This was that way when I got it, but this is all fiberglass. It is a cooler that has a drain somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's on the other side. There it is, right down there. To my knowledge, there's no water in it. The top lifts up over here, and I have a tarpaulin in there and other things that I have no other room for. So the grill we don't use anymore. Stainless steel pan, which I want to hang on to. It's good to have. The grill works. As I said, I replaced some sheet metal in there to hold the covers that go over the burner, the heat distribution covers or whatever. But we don't have cookouts anymore. There's only the three of us, and that little grill that you see that I used is all we ever use. So we'll get rid of this. Somebody wants to take it and get some scrap metal out of it, good luck to them, they can have it. Otherwise, I'm going to hire a guy to haul it all away and take it to the dump. This will go. This table will stay. Tommy made that when he was in wood shop. This will stay. And of course, the picnic table will stay. Although we don't go out, we don't eat out here anymore. Too many bugs. My wife can't even get out the door. She has all she can do to walk as it is. So, it's not a good situation at all. So, I guess I'm procrastinating, but that's okay. Whether I get the wood today or there, I don't know. I'm making a decision now. I hate to really cut the wood down the middle because, like I say, it leaves me a seam. I've got the beam here. I've got another one here. And if I use 3/4 inch, they should stay together and be good. I don't want to go out and buy an $8 or so, a $9 tube of Pheno Seal just to do that. By the time you add up, it gets pretty costly, you know. So I have to go with what we can afford and our budget. And that's just the way it is. So when I build something, I try to build it as cheaply as possible because, we just can't go gung-ho on this. And this provides a storage area and a work area, which I find very convenient. So I want to do something about this because I can't nail anything together because it's bouncy. It's springy now. There's no more solidness to this bench. There's no solidness because this plywood's got to come out of here. See it? But I'm not pulling that out until I get the new plywood in. Okay, so this is going to end this video right now. Like I say, I'm just procrastinating. I like to think things out before I start doing them, finding the cheapest way to do it. I've thought of patching this because everything in here in the middle is good. It's just from here to about here, so it's about 8 inches. But then I'd have to fill this in. And then I was thinking of putting some 3/4 inch strips of plywood in here and over here, just down here, and then putting 1/4 inch plywood on top of it with lots of nails. But I don't think that's a good idea. So I have to do things in sections. So I may have to have it cut down the middle, like I said, and that might be the way I have to go. All right. When I get started on this project, there will be a video on it. But this is not going to be part of that video. This is just going to be procrastinating. That's all I'm doing today.